Namaskar, Dr. Vinay Sahasrabudhe, President of Indian Council of Cultural Relations, Sri Dinesh K. Patnaik, Director General of Indian Council of Cultural Relations, Her Excellency Sri Priya Ranganathan, Ambassador of India to Republic of Korea, Professor Go Leong Lee, Distinguished Indologist Awardee 2019, Professor Lim Gon Dong, World Sanskrit Awardee for 2019, and all other Indologists and invited guests present here today, good afternoon to all from Seoul. On behalf of Swami Vivekanand Cultural Center at Embassy of India in Seoul and Indian Council of Cultural Relations, New Delhi, it is my immense privilege to welcome all at this virtual awards ceremony. Today's award ceremony has been organized to honor the contributions of the two most eminent personalities for their outstanding contributions for promoting Indian language and culture in the Republic of Korea. Professor Go Leong Lee, who has been bestowed with Distinguished Indologist Award for 2019, and Professor Lim Gun Dong for World Sanskrit Award for 2019. To formally welcome all the dignitaries present here today with us, and those joining online from India, may I now call upon Her Excellency Sri Priya Ranganathan, Ambassador of India to Republic of Korea, for welcome address. Over to you, ma'am.
Dr. Vinay Sahasrabudhe, President ICCR, Director General ICCR, and dear friend Dinesh Patnaik, Professor Go Leong Lee, the ICCR Distinguished Indologist Awardee for 2019, and Professor Lim Gun Dong, the ICCR World Sanskrit Awardee for 2019. We welcome you all to this virtual and physical award ceremony being organized in Seoul and in Delhi. I would like to first of all congratulate our distinguished awardees for their accomplishments, their extraordinary contributions in promoting Indian philosophy, Indian language, Indian culture, and above all for strengthening the cordial and strong ties between India and the people of the Republic of Korea. These ICCR awards, as you know, recognize outstanding contributions by Indologists across the world in the study, teaching, and research into Indian philosophy, thought, languages, literature, and culture. It is a matter of immense pride to us that ICCR has decided, after a very, very robust and extensive process of scrutiny and selection, to bestow these really prestigious awards upon two eminent Korean academicians and dear friends of the embassy. Professor Lee has been awarded the Distinguished Indologist Award and Professor Lim the World Sanskrit Award for 2019. And this is a very fitting recognition of their unique and lifelong contributions for the promotion of Indian language, culture, and philosophy in the Republic of Korea. Professor Lee is a recognized and leading Indologist in Korea who has been working for the past 35 years, Professor Lee, in promoting Indian studies, especially Indian philosophy, Buddhist studies, Ayurveda, and yoga in the country. His many academic publications and research papers are considered to have laid the foundations for the development of Indology and yoga in Korea. His translation of Dr. S. Radhakrishnan's Indian philosophy is regarded as the ultimate reference book on Indian philosophy and religion in Korean universities. As the president of the Korean Society for Indian Studies, he has made immense contributions to promoting cultural and philosophical exchanges between us. Professor Lim is a leading Korean scholar in Sanskrit and Hindi, who has been working for decades to promote the study of these languages at leading Korean universities, including the Hanguk University for Foreign Studies, Busan University of Foreign Studies, Hong Kong Digital University, and Seoul National University. With over 20 years of experience in teaching and researching Sanskrit, Professor Lim has authored numerous articles and books in various aspects of Sanskrit. He has translated texts like the Manusmriti, the Upanishads, and Meghadutam into Korean. And what an extraordinary contribution to Sanskrit studies in Korea. Professor Lim, due to the COVID-19 outbreak, we have not been able to welcome you to India for this very important award function. But I hope that through this hybrid ceremony today, with our Indian dignitaries joining us through this digital platform, we will be able to demonstrate in some measure the respect and the affection in which we hold you. And we hope that we will have many more opportunities to work closely with you from the embassy and from the ICC Seoul to further our quest to our shared quest to bring the people of India and Korea closer together through the means of culture. Thank you all once again. Kamsamnida, Dhanyavad. Welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. If we now move over to the congratulatory remarks by Dr. Vinay Sahasrabudhe, the President of Indian Council of Cultural Relations. Sir, it is an honor to have you here. May I now request you to give your remarks?
Thank you, Dr. Sonu Trivedi, Director of the Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center at Seoul in the Republic. Supriya Ranganathan, Ambassador of India in the Republic of Korea, the Director General of the Indian Council for Cultural Relations, Shri Dinesh Patnaik, and friends. We are holding this function virtually. Let me at the outset congratulate Professor Lim Gen Dong, who were instituted by the Indian Council for Cultural Relations, basically to recognize those who in different countries for the study of Indology and also the study and promotion of Sanskrit language. At the same time, these awards definitely contribute towards the promotion of Sanskrit studies as well. May I, at the outset, explain you that apart from these awards, ICCR also conducts an annual conference on Indology, certain institutions in India, especially Sarkar Oriental Research Institute, Pune, and the Indian Institute of Advanced Studies, Simla. Previously, such conferences were held in other parts of the globe as well. At the same time, so far as Sanskrit is concerned, at several cultural centers run by the ICCR world over, we are presenting Professor Lim Gen Dong, who has published books and papers on Sanskrit, and his research work is basically about Manusmriti, Upanishad, and Meghadutam. As president of the Korean Society for Indian Studies, he has organized several seminars and commissioned research articles on Indian studies by Indologists in Korea as well. Professor Jio Long Lee is another very and a lecturer in Dongkuk University. He has taught Indian philosophy, Veda, Bhagavad Gita, and Upanishad. Currently, he is holding the position of Dean of Graduate School of Integrative Medicine, which is another area about Oriental sciences. At the same time, he is of Vice Chancellor of Seoul University of Buddhism, and I'm happy to announce here that the Indian Council for Cultural Relations had taken a considered decision to organize every year an international conference on Buddhist studies, wherein we would be having those researchers and scholars who are into Buddhist studies coming together from various parts of the globe. And we are also actively thinking of instituting an award for a researcher in Buddhist studies, just like we are recognizing the contribution of scholars in Indology and in Sanskrit language as well. So in a way, this is an extension of what exactly we are doing in the context of Indology and Sanskrit. Friends, as we know, Sanskrit language has been the most important medium in lending continuity to Indian civilization. It is perhaps the oldest language in the world to be recorded. classical Sanskrit, which was developed from the Vedic era, held sway from about 500 BC to 1000 AD. In independent India, it is listed among the language of the 8th schedule of the Constitution. And I'm happy to share with you here that with the efforts of the Sanskrit Promotion Society and several other voluntary organizations, now active efforts are also being undertaken to promote Sanskrit as a language of day-to-day usage. Friends, the hymns of Rig Veda and the seeds of are the seeds of Sanskrit literature. Orally handed down for long, these hymns not only serve the purpose of religion, but also as a common literary award for several groups in India. After 1000 BC, they developed an extensive prose literature devoted to ritual matters, and we know that several ritual related things are basically originally written in Sanskrit. The next milestone in the history of Sanskrit is the grammar of Panini, the Ashtadhyayi. And I'm happy to tell you here that Maharshi Panini is the common grammarian who constructed the linguistic structure of Sanskrit and Farsi as well. And a couple of years back, ICCR took initiative and organized a conference about the contributions of Maharshi Panini in Tehran with the help of the University of Tehran in Iran. Sanskrit serves as a link language not only within India but even outside the Southeast Asian countries. Its influence on foreign languages and even modern Indian languages has been vast and immense. Friends, insofar as Indology is concerned, it is the study of India, its vast and multifaceted culture and civilization, including its history, literature, philosophy, and languages. This discipline dates back to several centuries when contacts with Greek thinkers through Arab countries and Asian nations were established through land and sea routes. Academic studies of India, Indian languages rather, art, culture, and literature can be traced back to Megasthenes, a Greek ambassador to the court of Chandragupta, founder of the Mauryan Empire. On the basis of his life in the court, Megasthenes composed a 4-volume book, Indica, which since then there have been many scholars from abroad who have taken deep interest in understanding India. Indology, as we know it today, began with the Orientalists' search for Indian culture and traditions through the study of Indian history, classical languages, literature, religion, philosophy, and in the process, Indology also influenced centuries of languages of several countries in the East and also in the West. Indian culture has been a source of inspiration for a way of life which is integral and holistic, synthetic and accommodating. That is why it could survive the onslaughts of time and transcend the limits of space. Indianness is characterized by inclusive pluralism in which there is accommodation for each individual or unit. In fact, we have been saying that instead of calling India and even Indian cities as melting pot, the right way of describing is a salad bowl, because we have been accommodating every other stream of culture and even spirituality. And therefore, in fact, India, as I often describe, is basically a spiritual democracy on the basis of which we have successfully implemented political democracy, and we are now engaging in our efforts for achieving social and economic democracies as well. Indian culture has a dynamic character to adapt with time and find solutions for the context, reason why study of Indology continues to be relevant in today's times and be encouraged further. In fact, in one of our conferences on Indology, a thought has emerged that we need to revisit the basic outline of the science of Indology or the discipline of Indology. because Indology need not be every time about the ancient times of Indian history. It can also, and it should rather, cover the contemporary India as well, because India is a country about which there is curiosity and goodwill in every part of the globe, but the understanding about India and the idea of India requires greater efforts. Friends, before I close, let me congratulate once again both the awardees for their immense contribution in promotion of Sanskrit and Indology as well. And it's a happy coincidence that both of them belong to the Republic of Korea. I once again extend all my best wishes to both these eminent researchers and wish that they will continue to contribute to the chosen disciplines. Thank you very much.
For this, may I now call upon Her Excellency Shri Priya Ranganathan, Ambassador of India to Republic of Korea, to do the honor. Let me also call upon Professor Go Leong Lee to accept the award. I'll now read out the citation. Distinguished Indologist Award 2019 is presented to Professor Go Leong Lee in recognition of his outstanding contribution to the study, teaching, and research in India's philosophy, thought, history, art, culture, Indian languages, literature, civilization, and society. We would also like to now present a small memento from Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center, Seoul. Let me now call upon Professor Lim Gun Dong to accept the award. I'll read out the citation. World Sanskrit Award 2019 is presented to Professor Lim Gun Dong in recognition of his outstanding contribution to the study, teaching, and research in Sanskrit language and literature. We now present a small memento from Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center, Seoul, to Professor Lim. Congratulations to Professor Lim. We now move over to the next section of our today's ceremony, the acceptance speech by Professor Go Leong Lee, the Distinguished Indologist Awardee for 2019. May I request Professor Go Leong Lee to share a few words with us?
Namaste. First of all, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to His Excellency Dr. Vinay Sahasrabudhe, President of ICCL, His Excellency Dinesh K. Patnaik, Director General of ICCL, and Her Excellency Sri Priya Ranganathan, Ambassador of Korea, India to Korea, for their favorable support and relationship. My deepest thanks also go to all of you from India and Korea for attending today's award ceremony. I'm very happy and honored to receive the prestigious ICCL Distinguished Indologist Award 2019 today. This award is really an amazing gift for me from India and also from the long history of close cultural relationship between India and Korea. According to our Korean historical records, an Indian princess Her arrived on Korean peninsula through a sea route about 2,000 years ago and became the queen of Gaya Kingdom. Since then, many Buddhist monks have left for India to study. And in the 1990s, when I was studying at Delhi University, about 200 Korean students have studied at Delhi University. My daughter also studied at Delhi University in the Indraprastha College, and my son is currently studying Indian philosophy at Hankuk University of Foreign Studies, Korea. As such, the relationship between India and Korea has deepened over a long history through numerous Koreans studying Indian ideas and culture. I'd like to share the glory and joy of today's award with everyone who has studied Indian philosophy and culture throughout Korean history. I have dedicated more than 30 years to the study of Indian philosophy and culture. I know that the small achievement I have made during this period were not simply the result of my effort and passion, but also the result of the constant help and encouragement from many senior researchers, colleagues, and juniors studying Indian philosophy and culture. Thanks to my colleagues and teachers who studied with me at the Department of Indian Philosophy, Dongguk University, Seoul, Korea, Radhakrishnan Institute for Advanced Studies in Philosophy, Madras University, Chennai, and Department of Philosophy, Delhi University, I am honored to receive this award today and thank all of them. I know that Indian philosophy is not just about understanding the scriptures and learning previous theories. In the course of studying Indian philosophy, if expansion and enhancement in my existence, consciousness, and beliefs do not occur simultaneously, it cannot be called the study of Indian philosophy in the true sense of the word. Through my research, I have come across many profound concepts and ideas that grew up on Indian soil, and they have become nourishment for me to grow. Here, I mention a name by respected Professor S.R. Bhatt, the former chairman of ICPR and professor of Delhi University. With his fatherly love and attention, he introduced me to the attractiveness of living Indian philosophy, especially Vedanta and Buddhism. Indeed, he has shown me what the relationship between Guru and Shishya should be like in the tradition of Indian culture. In the meantime, for me, studying Indian philosophy and practicing yoga have been and are my life itself. So far, I have blindly loved India and will continue to do so. At least 3/4 of my identity is Indian philosophy and culture, and the other quarter may be my long hair and beard. Even now, my friends ask me, there are so many countries in the world, but why India? My answer to this question is always, it is my destiny. Come to think of it, there is no reason for my love for India. It was indeed my destiny that India called me in my youth, and that led me to study Indian philosophy, and I thank my destiny. And since there is no reason for my love for India, I believe that my blind love for India will last forever. This award is a special gift in my life as well as a source of encouragement for me. I hope today's award will help to broaden and deepen the awareness of the meaning of studying Indian philosophy. As you know, the name of this award is Distinguished Indologist Award, but I think it's still too much for me. I would like to fulfill my responsibility for this award by studying harder for the rest of my life and also doing my best to promote cultural and Indological exchanges between India and Korea. In closing my talk, I would like to, and I have to introduce my wife, Hang-ji Lee, Director of Korea Yoga Reashram, to you at this glorious event. I am deeply grateful to her, who has served as my guardian since my 20s. When I was a PhD student at Delhi University, she also stayed in Delhi, Kingsway Camp, and Pitambra, Parvana Bihar, with my daughter for many years. Finally, I hope that the COVID-19 crisis will be normalized in India and Korea as soon as possible so that I can visit my spiritual homeland, India, as before. Thank you so much. Dhanwad.
Thank you, Professor Lee, for your speech and sharing your experience in India. We now move over to Professor Lim Gundong, the World Sanskrit Awardee for 2019. I request Professor Lim Gundong to share a few words with us.
Vande Mataram Sarvebhuyo Namo Namaha. Manavasya itihase madhe akale Europa Mahadvipe pravritasya bahuprathitasya navajagaranasya vishaye tat karanam sarvagyatam. Yat Europeya navajagaranam tatratyaha sanskritehe Greek Latin sruta sampanar vyakyanena eva akaram alavatta iti. Atra mama manasi adunatana kale yadi vaisvik nava jagaranasya prasanga samupatti sthate tarhi tasya mula srutansi kani suyuhu. Kani mula srutansi bhavino visvasya abhinavam kanchit Disham dasham cha udkhata yoitum krishamani suyuhu. Cha udkha iti jigyasa punah punar ankurita abhavat. Iam eva sa jigyasa asi yamam akrisya bharata bhuvaha sanskrites chasyaha vasalya vari puritam ankam anayat. Sa eva esha jigyasa prerana tattvam bhutva vigate vyaha chatvarinshat varshe vyo mam sanskrita vak devatayaha upasana karmani nimagnam akarot. Atra pravrittaha aham varam varam anubhutavan yat atra eva vedes upanishatsu Ramayana Mahabharata ado Pranescha Agaminaha Nava Jagaranasya Mula Bhijani Santi Yesham Garvat Bhavino Vispasya Kimapi Nutanam Prabhatam Sarvam Tamojatam Apasarya Udetum Shaknoti Atratyam Srutta Tattvam Eva Agamini Yuge Jagataha Patha Darshanam Karisyati Ti Mama Triro Visvaso Vartate. Etat Pradarshta Pantha Evacha Visvamanavasya Krite Abhiudaya Hetu Dihi Shreyasa Hetuscha Pavisyati Ti Tu Tatopi Adhikataraha. Mama Kopi Visvasaha. Manyaha Asmin Corona Vishanu Visha Vivishane Agami Yugam Tatrasya Manava Manisha Cha Pinna Eva Pavisyati Ti Sarvesham Anubhavaha. Tasmin Agachati Kale Sanskritasya Tatra Nihtanam Acharanam Vicharanam Va Prasangikta Cha Atiparam Pavisyati Iti Aham Spastam Pasyati. World Sanskrit Award Namna Yoyam Samanaha Mahyam Adya Bharata Sarvakarasya Sanskritika Sambandha Parishada Pradiyamano Vartate. Sa Mama Panthanam Prati Mama Imam Visvasam Itopi Adhikataram Thriram Karoti. Ayam Cha Visvasaha Mam Sanskrita Vangmanasya Aradhana Karmani Bhavini Kale Tatopyadikam Pratibaddam Gatimantam Cha Karisyati. Etat Artham Aham Bharat Sarvakaram Bharatiya Sanskritika Sambandha Parishat Sansthanecha Prati आत्मीयं नमो भावं पुनः पुनः प्रकाश्य बहुभिः धन्यवाचोभिः सह एभिः वचनैः विरमामि। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्।
धन्यवाद प्रोफेसर लिम आपके उद्बोधन के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. We now move over to the special remarks by Shri Dinesh K. Patnaik, Director General of Indian Council of Cultural Relations. Sir, it is a pleasure to have you here and we look forward to your special address.
Namaskar, everybody. I just wanted to congratulate Professor Gyo-Ling Lee for getting the Indologist Award for 2019. I was delighted to hear that his family, his wife is here with him, and that his family, his children, the rest of his family actually learn Sanskrit and Indologist. This is a very, very good omen, and we are really delighted that he and his family are still continuing the tradition that his father has set. He also said it's his destiny. In fact, I believe a lot in destiny because the place where I am a person who never learned Sanskrit or Hindi, but destiny has somehow brought me here. And I'm delighted to see so many people seeing this as part of the destiny. But what is the destiny of Indology and Sanskrit? Indology particularly. Indology, while Sanskrit is about 4,000 to 6,000 years old, Indology is only about 200 years old, only 2 centuries old. In the first few centuries, the 18th and 19th century, the European School of Indology and the American School of Indology brought forth many new ideas. Now, many of those ideas, whether we agree or not, I don't know. There are a lot of contestation, a lot of debate about it. The Aryan invasion theory, the theory that or the subaltern theory of the Americans, all these things are different, which brought forth. But there was a lot of pioneering work in this time, a lot of achievements that was brought into Indology. The 20th century and now the 21st century is a completely new animal. We are looking at Indology in a completely different manner. The diaspora has suddenly become a new school of study, the diasporic school, where the diaspora actually is earning to learn the language, to learn about Indology, and to teach the children and the next generation and the people they work about Indology. That has brought forth a new change. But what is the big change that is required? Because Indology, to a large extent, has been limited to a geographical and historical area. Geographical because it only talks about the Indian subcontinent. And historical because we're always looking at the past. We need to change the paradigm of Indology to actually start looking at a more modern India in all its complexities and to look at a more spread out geographical area where we look at the India as a nation, as a expanse worldwide rather than only limited to the geography of South Asia. There is a lot of things we need to do. Even in India, where Indology is still very active, there is a tendency to look at text over living experiences. We need to look at more living experiences. There is also a tendency to look at material things over memory and myth. All these things we need to change to make Indology more popular. Today, Indology in many places is losing importance. How we bring it back is something we all need to work together. At the same time, I would like to thank Professor Lim Gyon Dung and congratulate him for having received the Sanskrit Award for 2019. He made me feel sad because I myself couldn't understand most of the things that he said, but I should have. And we are working in ICCR to start developing an app to teach Sanskrit. And hopefully in the next 2 months or so, we will be taking out in the market to help people learn Sanskrit. This will revolutionize the way we learn Sanskrit. I used to listen to my father listening to the All India Radio News in Sanskrit. And that was the last I heard. And now having heard Professor Lim Gyon Dung, I'm very, very happy that at least Sanskrit is still vibrantly active. Now, many people tell Sanskrit is like Latin, no more spoken and only found in text. It's not true for India. There is still a large number of people. Unfortunately, in the census, people don't put Sanskrit as a language that they are speaking. But I know for a fact that a large number of people still speak Sanskrit. And there are a lot of religious ceremonial rituals which all Hindus, Buddhists, Jews, which still use Sanskrit. So Sanskrit is still a living language and there's a lot we can do. But we need to work on it. there have been a lot of people who need to talk about how easy it is to learn Sanskrit, easy to understand Sanskrit, and the rich vocabulary it has. But the most important, people say that for the modern age, Sanskrit is the most computerable language. It's because it's rule bound, it's formula bound, it's very logical. So that's the reason it's easy to write algorithms in Sanskrit. And the grammar makes it suitable because the grammar is so strict. It makes it suitable for machine learning and artificial intelligence. Now, this was written by a professor called Rick Briggs in NASA in 1985. Unfortunately, since then, we haven't done anything to show how Sanskrit is a computer language, how Sanskrit is the most computerable language. We need to work on these things to ensure that Sanskrit, that there are software written in Sanskrit, that there are knowledge systems written in Sanskrit, because learning Sanskrit helps us do the most important thing. That is, it's a key to a treasure trove of untapped knowledge that is there in the world today. Last count, within Hinduism, there are 7 million manuscripts which still have not been read by people. The Buddhists have millions of manuscripts which have not been read. The Jews have the similar. We need this large amount of volume of knowledge among people to be able to tap into this treasure trove. So we need to work together. But today is a day of celebration and not of looking at what we can do or not do. And today I would like to congratulate both Professor Gyo-Ling Lee for the Indologist Award of 2019 and Professor Lim Gyun-dung for the Sanskrit Award for 2019. We are proud of your achievements and your contribution that you have given. Professor Lee was very modest in saying that he did not deserve it, but he deserves it. I've been seeing his work. We have all been seeing the wonderful work he's done. And because of COVID, we are doing it virtually. But I can assure you one thing, as soon as COVID is over, we shall love to see you in India. We will organize your visit to India and we will try to at least recapture the essence of what we would have done if COVID would not have happened. From all of us here in ICCR, on behalf of my president, Vinay Sahasrabudhe, who kindly graced this occasion today, I would like to thank all of you for attending today's event, the virtual event, and I congratulate both our winners. Thank you very much and namaskar.
Thank you, sir, for your words of encouragement. We would now like to wind up the event. I would now propose a formal vote of thanks. Dr. Vinay Sahasrabudhe, President of Indian Council of Cultural Relations. Shri Dinesh K. Patnaik, Director General of Indian Council of Cultural Relations. Her Excellency Shri Priya Ranganathan, Ambassador of India to Republic of Korea. Professor Gyo-Ling Lee, Professor Lim Gyun-dung, and most valued invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. I, on behalf of Swami Vivekanand Cultural Center at the Embassy of India in Seoul and the entire team of Indian Council of Cultural Relations, New Delhi, let me call upon it as the fraternity of Indologists present here together, and on my own behalf, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to all the dignitaries and speakers for gracing the occasion today. A big thank you to Dr. Vinay Sahasrabudhe, President of Indian Council of Cultural Relations, for his words of wisdom and explaining in detail the significance of the study of Indology and Sanskrit language worldwide, and how India, with its spiritual democracy, has been successful in implementing the political democracy and trying to achieve the goal of social and economic democracy in present times. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation for Mr. Dinesh K. Patnaik, Director General of Indian Council of Cultural Relations, for his explanation of the emerging nuances of the study of Indology and the ways to digitalize Sanskrit language and make it more accessible to the common masses. I also wish to express my gratitude to Her Excellency Shri Priya, the Ambassador of India, Shri Priya Ranganathan, for providing all encouragement in organizing this award ceremony. Further, we are grateful to the presence of the two distinguished award winners, for which we have all assembled here today, Professor Gyo-Ling Lee and Professor Lim Gyun-dung. We are all honored by your kind presence and great words. And we also would like to acknowledge and convey our gratitude to Mrs. Lee Hang-ji and Mrs. Moon Kyung-suk for their presence and making this event memorable for all of us. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to place on record our hearty thanks to the technical and media team of Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center, Embassy of India, and Indian Council of Cultural Relations for the perfect logistic support and guidance extended to all of us at this occasion. I also extend my thanks to Indian Council of Cultural Relations award section for their enormous cooperation in organization of this event. Well, friends, ladies and gentlemen, an event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling weeks and months ago. It requires meticulous planning and a bird's eye for details. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated colleagues at Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center and Embassy of India in Seoul under the dynamic leadership of our Ambassador, Her Excellency Sri Priya Ranganathan, for their indomitable spirit and unquenching support. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I want to state that we are all most grateful to all the speakers joining us offline and online today. We thank you all for being with us this afternoon. It's been a great pleasure. Thank you. Kamsahamnida. Dhanyavad. Have a group photo while everyone is here, online and offline. So I request all to switch on the video and also request all the dignitaries and both Professor Lee, Professor Lim, along with Mrs. Lee and Mrs. Lim, Ambassador, and all to join here for a group photograph.
Mrs. Lee, Shadi.
Thank you. That is very nice. Namaskar again. Thank you. Very well done.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.